West Coast Fight Shows is proudly brought to you by NPB Security. NPB Security is dedicated to providing the highest quality crowd control, static guard and mobile patrol services. Go down and speak to Scott Parry for all your security needs.
Welcome to West Coast Fight Shows. My name is Peter Boyd and I'm here with Adam Bailey. This episode that we're going to be viewing today is Ignition Muay Thai back on April 26th. As you know, we used to be on West TV, Channel 44. Now we are directly online. So welcome, Adam. We're going to go into some highlights now.
Thanks, Pete. Great to be here. Looking forward to it.
So we're going to go through the highlights of the undercards. And first up now we have Joel Fulton from WATBC in the red corner and Jack Murphy from Sunset Muay Thai. These boys are Joel's 14 years old and Jack Murphy's 13, weighing in at 63 kilos. If you're new to West Coast Fight Shows, you can see the Combat Sports Commission is now involved in our sport, and you'll see the guys are wearing the chest guard, the head guards and chin guards for their first bouts. And the young Joel from WATBC, the winner of that fight. Now we've got Mitch Mitchell from Anger Management down in, I think they're all the way down in Albany, come up to Perth for this fight, and Tremaine Henry from MMA 24/7, again 63 kilos for these boys, both tall. These boys are up around your higher teens, 15, 16-year-old. The winner for that bout was Tremaine Henry from MMA 24/7. Now we have Tom Fellows from Typhoon Gym with Marty Severies. Gab Perez from Olsen Muay Thai Factory with Ollie Olsen out there. Back in the day, the beginners were fighting Mod Thai rules. Now with all the padding requirement, we're moving into an era where full Thai rules is fought from the beginning, and red corner was your winner there, being Tom Fellows. Now we've got Joshua Day and from Excel Martial Arts, and Matt Elliott from Demeanor MMA. These boys are up around the heavyweight, 80 kilos. Okay, the winner from that bout is Joshua Day from XL Martial Arts. Now we're moving on to Massage Nazuri from your gym, Adam. And Damien Whalen from the Pit, 69 kilos. What number fight was this one for Massage, mate?
Second, I think. Good kid, Mister. All put together. Young. Moving to fight with the Pit all the time.
The Massage is in the red corner, guys, and Damien Whalen from the Pit in the blue. Yep. And the winner is Damien Whalen from the Pit. Bad luck on that one, Adam. But I'm sure Massage will come back stronger and better in his next fight. Now we have Alistair Graham from WATBC, which is my gym. Lee Miller from Dragon Muay Thai out in Rockingham. It's Alistair's first bout. And I think Lee had one bout previously. These boys are up in the 76 kilo range. Both boys landed some big hand shots.
Punch, boys.
Yeah, definitely throwing the leather, that's for sure. Oh, who's pulled the wrong hand up there, but the winner is actually Alistair Graham from WATBC. Okay, this fight we have Graham Levy from Calsock and Cormac Leonard from Olsen's Muay Thai. I think they're both Irish boys. These guys are weighing in at 58 kilos in a smaller division.
See, he's got the trademark beard from Calsock.
As you'll see coming up in the main event of this Ignition event is Ricardo Kuznecki, the bearded hero, so he's been named, unofficially, should I say.
Glad I got out of Calsock before that rule came in and I got the bro one.
Beards with the mandatory. Yeah, nice skills on these two. Calsock having Calsock taking the win. I was just about to say Calsock has the multitude of Thai trainers out there. And now we have another one from your gym, mate. We've got Varkas Vasits from your gym. It's in the blue corner, 77 kilos against Joel Trednick.
Yeah, it was calling V. It's a bit of a tongue twister, the old Varkas Vasits. But
oh, he's taking a low shot.
He's a fiery lad. Great with the elbows, Varkas.
Tall, lanky guy. Oh yeah, he's throwing those elbows in there, nice and clean and crisp. Yeah.
Problem with Varkas is he likes to throw them in training as well. Sparring without the pads on.
Right. On a bit of autopilot, eh?
Yeah. I think he's going to have a pretty good future, Varkas.
Looks like a pretty tough bout, this one.
His next bout coming up on the Yodson Kai Tenturi undercard, which is a big show for the MTA.
Awesome, that's coming up on the 8th of August, yeah. Promoted by Come Mark D.
Yep.
Local boy Marco Tentori taking on one of the world's best. And Yodson Kai Faircats.
He's been coming down the gym for a fair bit of sparring of late from the boys. Even Varkas done all he's got at Marco. Enough to help him prepare. Good on him.
Unlucky that time, but Joel Trednick took the win. Okay, so now we've got the girls' bout coming up. We've got Kerry Ann McKay from Calsock and Joe Sutton from Dragon Muay Thai in Rockingham. These girls are fighting at 56 kilos. Both tall, skinny girls.
Kerry Ann, their last outing, she had another fight since this one, and knocking out the WA champ, Caitlin Vance. You'll see that one on future West Coast fight shows. And the long leaps and bounds, Kerry Ann.
Yeah, in the last couple of fights, yeah. Definitely improving from her first few bouts.
And her partner Sam Ballantyne off to the IFMA World Championships in the coming weeks. It was in Australia at the 75 kilo division. So
which you and I are both strongly involved in, mate. So people out there, we Adam and I are on the MTA board, national board. We're heavily involved in team selection and organising of the Australian team going to Bangkok on the 13th of August. Good win from Kerry Ann. Congratulations to Kerry Ann, she's on a bit of a winning streak. As I was saying, yeah, so that we've got 36 athletes going to Bangkok in August, 81 team members, coaches, support staff. So Australia's having one of the biggest teams going to Bangkok this year. This fight we've got Ben Valuri from WATBC and Z Cross. This is the last fight of our highlight reel. We'll be getting into the full fights after this one. Zeke having a couple of more fights than Ben at this stage.
But probably one of the most active kids going around the WA circuit at the moment, Zeke.
Yeah, he's had a few fights, so yeah.
Going down a true grit.
Amanda, Chantel. So I think Ben just, in this fight, his reach, his push kicking, or as we call it, a teep in our game, took the win for him. So as you can see the look on his face, he was happy to win that bout.
West Coast Fight Shows is proudly brought to you by Ring Sport. Go and see Richard in O'Malley Road, Osborne Park for all your combat sports equipment needs.
Okay, we're heading into our full fight card now with David Creel and Michael de Prinzio. Let's take it over to CJ.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, about 11 of the afternoon, proudly brought to you by Ring Sport. 3 by 2 minute rounds, 68 kilogram weight division, full-time rules with padding. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's trained by Brett Gressel from the AWMA with an official weight of 67.7 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, this is David Creel. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He is trained by Frankie from Diesel Gym with an official weight of 67.7 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Michael Prinzio. Fighters, please seal the room.
So here we go, round 1 of 3, full-time rules.
Round 1.
Got Chris Pritchard officiating over this event as our referee. Chris has been in the sport for a long time, back in the days in the 90s. He's now come back to put his hand back into refereeing, judging. So glad to see Chris back in the game again.
Bit of a wild and woolly start from the boys. Big takedown in the red corner to get things kicked off. Wipe off the glove and they're at it again. Strong punches from Creel from AMMA. But they just upgraded the gym facilities up there. They were at Moorabookah. We heard Graham Rexon for a long time and they just now moved to Balcatta.
Yeah, mate, yeah, and a massive floor. Big on BJJ down at AMA as well. They do a number of things down there, but what I've seen is big floor space. So down in that area, swing down and have a look at AMA. So Adam Metcalf and Brett Glasso down there. Diesel Gym, a newer gym on the block. So Frankie Diesel's been around a lot for a while. Fighters are definitely well put together. They made an impact immediately, pretty much since opening. Yeah. So Frankie up there in Joondalup. Frankie definitely has put his time into his boys. He runs a very well organised gym. He opened it up just recently and then upgraded again to a larger facility, so he's obviously working quite hard down there in Joondalup, and the gym's getting quite popular. So he runs a lot of kids stuff. I've seen Frankie dressed up in a few kids costumes.
In class or out of class?
Yeah, I'm sure, mate. Frankie likes getting dressed up, that's all I'm going to say. in the round 2 now.
Good close even fight so far. I think blue corner's got it from the handiwork, but I think the taller man into Prinzio will come into play now with the grappling in the second round. A little slower start with the pass style in Frankie's gym.
Yeah.
You'll see him coming strong in the last one. Not a lot of time in these 3-round fights. You give one round up and it's a long way to come back from.
It's a race, yeah. So the 5-rounders you can pace yourself a little bit more, but at the 3-round fight you've got to make your mark early in the first round, second round. And don't forget our sponsors, guys, for West Coast Fight Shows. We'd like to thank Ring Sport, as you'll see down in the left-hand corner there. Thanks to Richard from Ring Sport for always getting behind Ignition Muay Thai and West Coast Fight Shows. If you're looking for any martial arts equipment, from your MMA gear to Muay Thai, go down to O'Malley Road in Osborne Park and see Richard down there.
One out now in O'Connor, there's kickboxing down there on
Richard's done his research and he's put another shop out there out in O'Connor, which I think Tony Fisher out there is giving him a hand with, being next door. Get another gym in Perth, one of many gyms in Perth. You know, we definitely have a lot of Muay Thai gyms and kickboxing gyms in WA. West Side's another one out there in O'Connor.
Pretty even affair in the ring at the moment.
They will come to the end of the round 2.
I've got to say, I think the blue corner's just nudging us out on activity at the moment. Bit better work rate. Punches and solid push kicks. Prinzio miss. He's throwing a lot of left kicks, but not getting a lot of landing.
Contacting next to.
He's really wants to beat Prinzio, but tied up a little bit around the waist. Creel just comes forward on the shoulders, a little bit more aggressive.
Just looking at the standard of Muay Thai in WA, you know, we can't ever stop talking about it. You know, these guys have probably only had 2 fights, or one or couple, you know, 1 or 2 fights at the most, and the skills and the grapple and the striking on them are quite good compared to some other states. WA definitely is up there with leading the way in Muay Thai in current years. You can tell the growth of Muay Thai Australia itself, membership base, running our nationals. You know, Muay Thai is definitely getting more widespread throughout the country and getting the recognition that is needed for years. You know, and now we're moving towards the IOC. Already being in the sport accord. If you want to know more about that, guys, you can hit up the IFMA website, ifma.com, and check out what's going on around the world in terms of amateur Muay Thai. And at the end of that bout, let's take it to the judges and see what they come back with.
Bout 11 of the afternoon, proudly brought to you by Ring Sport. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the red corner, Prinzio.
Well done to Frankie and the guys at Diesel Gym.
Suplex to start it.
Yeah.
It's the odd BJJ stuff for the mixed martial arts maybe coming out.
Yeah.
Putting through the roof.
West Coast Fight Shows is proudly brought to you by Celebrations at Charlie's. Go down and see Kim at Shop 9, 497 Walter Road, East Morley. your local bottle shop, helping you celebrate any occasion.
So next bout coming up, Stephen Crook from Darwin, his first outing, and Shannon Brooks having 2 fights. Shannon Brooks is from Typhoon.
Bout 12 of the afternoon here at Ignition Muay Thai, proudly brought to you by Celebrations at Charlie's. 3 by 2 minute rounds, 77 kilogram weight division. Modified Muay Thai rules. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is trained by Corey from the Manhart Academy in Darwin. With an official weight of 76.6 kilograms, ladies and gentlemen, this is Stephen Crook! And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He is trained by Marty Savarese from Typhoon. With an official weight of 77.3 kilograms, ladies and gentlemen, this is Shannon Brooks! Fighters, please fill the ring.
Alright, fighters touch gloves. Shane McDonald in charge of the action.
We have Steve Crook from Darwin. This is Steve's first outing. Shannon Brooks was matched with someone else, so I can't recall who that was, and he pulled out on Shannon. Actually, now I do remember who it was. It was Jimmy Gray. I'm pretty sure it was Jimmy Gray, and he moved from where the gym was from to Commons, and Common wanted to spend a bit more time with him to get him prepared at being at the new gym. So then I searched around to get Shannon about, and Steve in Darwin jumped in, flew down to come and take on Shannon.
The one thing I will say about the lads from Darwin is we only have one rule. Don't try to red short when you're in the blue corner. You know, you want the scorecards to
you don't want to confuse the judges, mate.
No. But let him off his first fight. A strong gym, the guys from Darwin. We've got Western Armstrong down up there in Northern Turkey from the Sterling champions. We'll see stablemate of Stephen Crook in the main event, Wade Auger. We'll see the power he has in both hands coming up later on in the main event, I'm sure.
Blade is one serious contender. He took on Mark Albinetti from Ultimate's Gym on my show in Ignition in the past, and yes, he's a very strong boy, hard hitter. Doesn't move a lot. He's quite flat-footed the way he fights, but boy does he pack a punch. So we're going to see a very good main event against Ricardo and Blade today. So hang around for that one.
And Brooks has fought one south.
What'll happen when you fight a first timer, mate? First timers are a little bit wild in their shots every now and then. And same when you're holding pads, mate.
Kick count of the pigs and they're off and rolling again.
So when you're holding pads for beginners, you need to be aware of, make sure you pay attention. You might catch one across the jaw, or
yeah, I'd have to give Alan Pond a call up there at Ultimate UFC Gym. He got one from one of my youngsters the other week. Came down and helped us out with training, and sometimes they do get a little bit wild and woolly.
Especially with your taller, skinnier boys, you get comfortable holding pads, and then suddenly over the top, they miss the target completely. And
I nearly got knocked out by young Sam Naggington, Rob Naggington's son, holding the pad. The embarrassing thing was he was about 12 years old at the time.
But I'm going to do a big call out for all you pad holders out there. We're the unsung heroes of the sport, I must say. You know, we do take the punishment day in, day out of holding pads for multiple fighters. But as a pad holder, you've got to love it. It's part of nurturing the fighter. It's part of getting a connection with your fighter. But we definitely don't get the credit that we deserve in the media. But mate, it is definitely, you must be careful in the holding pads, especially with beginners. You're more professional end of the game, you're more accurate, and you can sort of enjoy the pad holding, but a beginner is definitely going to be the threat of an injury for yourself or them.
Well, back to the centre ring, come along left in round 2.
You may have noticed that these boys are not wearing the chest protection in this particular bout, as per the young guys at the start. The Combat Sports Commission's padding requirement is set in stone that your first couple of fights you wear the full padding, and moving on to your third fight you have the chest plate removed, and so forth up until your 5th or 6th fight, and then going into your 6th or 7th fight you're out of pads complete. So it's a stage by stage of removing the padding as you get more experienced. So on this actual event, most of the guys are in padding, or at least head guards and shin guards, as you can see these guys are in this bout. Moving on to the main event, which would be fully unpadded fights and full Muay Thai rules.
Round 3, who have we got, Pete?
Well, Shannon with the experience, but I think, mate, I'll give Steve Cook credit being his first time out, and I know Shannon personally. I've seen him spar, and he's a pretty good contender, mate. He's won both his fights quite in strong battles, but I still think Shannon's got this one. But in my opinion at this stage, but I think I've got to give Steve credit for being his first bout. He doesn't look like he's been phased. He's still pushing forward. But as we know, Darwin, the boys are pretty tough up there.
Wrestling crocs,
yeah, as they say. And having fighters like Kristen Armstrong, who's fought on Ignition numerous times, and as you were mentioning about padding, also Kristen KO'd Caitlin on an Ignition event. So I'd really like to see Caitlin Vance come back into the sport as a contender. She at one point she was the state champion, moving into one of the best in the country, and she's sort of fallen on the wayside in the last months or even to the last year. So Caitlin, if you're watching, I'd like you to get back in and get competitive. And come back and show Perth and Australia what you're actually made of.
What do you say about the goal there?
Well, you know yourself, mate. Your first fight, your energy levels drop quite quickly. And as we suspected, Shannon took the win, but well done to Steve Cook from Manho Academy in Darwin. There's Corey giving Shannon a bit of a drink there.
Yeah, first fight. I mean, the last minute feels like an hour, and the round breaks feel like about 20 seconds.
Yeah,
Sit down, get your mouth guard out, and you're back in there and going again.
Okay, the next bout, Leon Whittle from Frankie's,
Frankie's Gym. Yep.
And Chris Conclaves from Onyx Fit.
Fight 13 of the night, proudly brought to you by Cars for Us. 3 by 2 minute rounds, 80 kilogram weight division, full Muay Thai rules with pads. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, is trained by Jay Gray from Onyx Fit with an official weight of 80.1 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris Conclaves. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he is trained by Frankie from Diesel Gym with an official weight of 79.7 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Leon Whittle.
So up in weight, the 80 kilo mark. Full loads in there.
Round 1.
Expect some strong boxing from Conclaves. left kicks from Frankie's for Leon Whittle. And no shin guards, but head and elbow pads.
That's how the Combat Sports Commission system works. So it's where body protection comes off first. Then it's the shin guards come off next. Then it's a fight with head guard and elbow pads for the full tie rules. Then it's the fight with only head guard. And then I think it's fight 6 or fight 7 there's no head guard. So it goes chest off first, shin guards off next, elbow pads off, and then finally the head guard. The head guard is the main one that stays on the rules. Which, if you're from the sport, there's controversy always about whether head guards are a good or a bad thing. We've spoken about this before on West Coast fight shows and also in the industry about whether it is a good thing. We tend to find that guys that wear fighting or even sparring in the gym in head guards seem to think the head guard's going to protect them, and they sustain more blows. They just stand toe to toe and clobber each other. Where when they've got no head guard on, they seem to be more evasive and not wanting to get hit. And so there's a mixed bag on whether the head guard is a good thing or not.
Well, I'm speaking from personal experience. I think it's been great for our juniors. We've got so many kids in the gym and so many young people wanting to fight now. There's a bit of padding, get them in. But they're one of the hardest shots I've ever taken, which caused me the most drama post-fight with wearing your head guard. So I just think no matter what, if you get hit, you're going to get hit. You're planted. Head guard, no head guard.
It's still going to rock you.
Yeah. Pretty good style from both these lads. Toe to toe, going at it. I think they lock the elbows. Pump face goes alright. Right elbow, left knee. This is the problem with the head guard though.
Yeah, I was going to say that is another issue we didn't mention is the head guard slipping off the bottom of the chin if it's not put on correctly.
Fast pace for an 80 kilo fight.
Yeah. These boys are throwing a lot of leather. Jumping knees. So the next West Coast fight shows that you'll see online after this one will be the Domination fight show where Daniel Mini T Williams takes on one of the best from Thailand for the WMC world title.
Yeah, Daniel's one of the... He's just a great kid and he just keeps on getting better and better. He's absolutely fearless. He'll fight anybody, anywhere.
Returning back from the IFMA University Games in Thailand, coming home with the gold medal and also getting the Sportsmanship Award at that event, which is a massive thing for Australia and a reputation within the amateur Muay Thai industry. So a great role model, great ambassador for the sport. And if you know Dan personally, you'll know that he definitely is one of the funniest guys you'll meet, and he's such a pleasant guy that when he gets in the ring, he's determined. There's nothing going to stop him.
No, I've been on a lot of trips with Daniel. He went up there to Japan to fight, and I think that kid he couldn't sit still. He walked about 14 or 15 k's the day of the fight. He would have eaten about 7 meals. And went out, had to sleep about 15 minutes before he went out to fight, and golfed this fight, really. He's just a different kid, you know. But being half Thai, I know he spent a bit of time with the female officials over there at IFMA. I think he might have got a few cheek inside votes.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, possibly.
The Sportsman Award.
For the Sportsman Award, yes. Yes, I did see on his Facebook page a couple of photos up there. So. If you're on Facebook, maybe stalk Daniel Williams. And most of our fighters are on Facebook, with the fight shows, so get on Facebook. West Coast Fight Shows is on Facebook. Hit us up there for information, and you can get online now on Facebook and have a chat with us now about this event if you like. We're always open to suggestions of how we can improve West Coast Fight Shows, viewing times. For these events you can buy tickets online from westcoastfightshows.com.au. This West Coast Fight Shows is all about getting the public and getting the industry involved and giving our voice and media exposure. The idea from myself and Mitch King, who is our media guy for West Coast Fight Shows, our decision to move it from WTV 44, other than financially, TV is very expensive, I might say. Bringing it online to you, so now we've got a global access. Anyone around the world can watch West Coast Fight Shows now. Come to the end of this bout.
About 13 in the afternoon here at Ignition Muay Thai, proudly brought to you by Cars R Us. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the red corner.
Winner's Frankie's boy.
Very close fight. Conco started off well, but slowed down and went from the front foot and first ran a bit to the back foot, and now you got to finish strong. Conco looks like he's got a bit.
Yeah.
Mixes his hands well.
West Coast Fight Shows is proudly brought to you by Artful Ink Tattoo Studio. If you're looking for a tattoo shop in Morley, come into Artful Ink, upstairs, Unit 7, 222 Russell Road, Morley.
So here's our heavyweights. Oh no, they've dropped weight, these boys, 89. They're still in the heavyweight division, I think. 89, 90 kilos.
Yep.
Light heavy.
In Morley, 3 by 2 minute rounds, 90 kilogram weight division at full Muay Thai rules. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is trained by Pabon Mahdi from Champions Gym with an official weight of 88.2 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Benny Hart! And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He is trained by David McVicker from Excel Martial Arts with an official weight of 89.7 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, this is James Tom! Fighters, please salute.
Yeah, Benny Hart floats up and down. The divisions get a little bit thin the heavier they are.
For opponents.
Yeah, I think Benny Hart still floats up and down. Really good guy, great gym, Champions Gym.
James Tavez out of XL Martial Arts down in Mandurah. Dave McVicker, the fight trainer out of there. He's the father of gold medalist and the super world champion Maximus McVicker, or Little Max.
Well, he's out on his own now, Dave, so it's stepping
Yeah.
in and looking after the Beastmaster Gym.
After this event, he decided to make the move, and the gym that Max, his son, fought out of in England was the Beastmaster Gym, so they've adopted that name. So keep your eyes out on the next shows for the Beastmaster team. Got Beck Rooney, the Hulk they call her, training out of Beastmaster. James Tavez, who you're seeing in the green shorts now in the red corner.
A couple of solid
Yep.
hits to the jaw. tall and lean Tavez. A lot behind these kicks, I'm afraid. Swing and a miss.
I see Benny Hart was scheduled to fight the Man Mountain from the pit.
Yeah. No go?
Benny Hart's injured himself. He's injured his finger. So actually Benny was out. This was supposed to be on the undercard of the Rodson fight.
Round 2.
And now that fight will be scheduled for another day, another time.
Yeah, we're looking at a couple more fights under the belt, and they're definitely the top contenders for the WA title.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Benny Hart coming into his own now, a bit more power. Tavez on the back foot a little bit. Soccer kick teep is getting very popular at the moment,
Yeah,
especially
I've
the
seen
young
a
age.
few fighters these days teeping to the face.
Yeah, it'll have a taste in my toenails, Job.
And so the first person I actually saw do it in WA was Malad against, I've forgotten who it was now, Daniel from Cowsock.
Yeah, Chris Daniel, yeah.
Cheech, who on one of Kamon's original Origin events,
Mm-hmm.
did that flick to the and split Cheech's lip open.
Yeah, it's actually, I've seen a couple of knockouts with it. I saw Alex Amoroso knock down Ben Camp the other week with it.
Yeah, on the Dragonfly show,
With a punch to the jaw.
Yeah.
So, but if Malad's doing it, I dare say a few others will give it a try.
Speaking of Malad, who's next, you'll see Malad coming up on a future West Coast fight shows, taking on Churngrob, one of the Max Muay Thai champions out there in Pattaya. And that event will be coming up in West Coast fight shows shortly. But now Malad's in training for the Top King series in China on the 29th of August, it's set for. And whispers of we've heard so far in this tournament will be Andrei Kalubin, which anyone who knows anything about the Russians or the Eastern Bloc countries out there, they'll know who Andrei Kalubin is. Belarus?
Yeah, Belarus. Just an out-and-out champion. Good feature pretty heavily on IFMA, usually that takes away the event.
And there's also Yusuf Borgman. There's talk of him being in this event too, which Malad was actually training at the Petsanam gym in Pattaya with Yusuf. Now Malad being back at WATBC, training with myself, and Ben Worsfold, Tim Levins, Ben Baluri, our team out there.
Benny Hart in trouble here.
Yeah.
Over.
Couple of quick knees to the forehead as he was going down.
If he gets up from this, I'd be surprised. Taking his time. There we go, and I think Benny Hart will finish this one.
Just had a quiet chat to. Still in it, old Tavez.
Spot down his mouth guard and keeps pushing.
Good on him.
Last round.
I think Ben's getting a bit excited now, and he's over kicking and losing his balance a bit, trying to chase that knockout. So he's getting a little bit frustrated now. He's feeling a bit excited about that knockout, or the potential of it anyway.
Nothing worse than spending all your Vickies.
Yeah.
And send somebody down the canvas and then to get back up again. I think he's more in control now, Benny Hart.
Yeah.
He's searching for it. He wants it a bit too much.
So 3 times now is the...
Looks like he's wearing ice skates out there.
Yeah.
Big right hand from Tavez.
Tavez is dug deep to stay in there. I'll give him credit. Ben's giving him a few blows there.
Just well in control.
Yeah.
Great effort.
Gentlemen, bout 14 of the afternoon, proudly brought to you by the Electric Tattoo
Yeah.
Studio in...
I know why Ben was going for that knockout, because Damon had thrown the gauntlet out there and predicting a second round knockout.
Oh, right, okay.
At that bout.
Yeah.
So I guess Ben had that in the back of his head to impress his coach, at least, you know, maybe not in the second, but even in the third. And sometimes that gets the better of you when you've got that in the back of your head, you know, you expel too much energy and get a bit too excited about it.
Hey, head kick. Dang, rocks her head back.
Yeah.
You smelled a bit of blood, Benny Hart.
And that's good for a big boy.
Mmm.
High head kicks and stuff. So the next bout's Craig Beauville from Arachnid and Nathan Eden from Frankie's again. Frankie's got half the card here today, I think, by the look of it.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, bout 15 here at Ignition Muay Thai, proudly brought to you by West Coast Fight Shows. 3 by 2-minute rounds, 74kg weight division, full Muay Thai rules, no pads. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's trained by Ash Hunt from Arachnid Muay Thai. With an official weight of 73.7kg, he has a record of 6 fights for 3 wins. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Creel. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He is trained by Frankie from Diesel Gym. With an official weight of 73.8kg, he has a record of 2 fights for 2 wins. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nathan Eden.
Here we go, round 1 of 3. We have Craig Beauville from Arachnid, Nathan Eden from Frankie's Gym, Frankie Diesel. Craig's been around a little while. Nathan's reasonably new, but Craig's been out of the sport for a little while too. This is comeback fight, I think, after a year or maybe even 2 years off, Craig. I think Nathan looks a little bit more solid in the body frame.
74 kilos. Bit of a half and half. It isn't. Don't know about all. Pretty well, so can't have too much.
Craig is actually matched with Rick Pisanici on domination in August.
Craig
Beauville.
pretty tough fight, Brent.
Yeah. Well, it's not 70. I think the weight is down to 71 for that one. As you can see, Craig's frame, I think Nathan's quite a good work in this fight.
Nice bringing the grapple.
Yeah.
Great work with the grapple. And this is what the judges are looking for, controlling the grapple. Basically all effective knees right to the belly button in the boy from Diesel's Gym, nullifying any chance of retaliation. Another one after the bell.
Don't forget, guys, hit up westcoastfightshows.com.au for all your online ticket sales for Ignition Domination. and also keep up to date with the shows that are coming up online for you to view on West Coast Fight Shows. And don't forget to have a chat with us on Facebook.
Better start with Craig for this round.
A bit of the ring rust out in round one. He's trying to step it up a bit now.
Just that grapple control, just the clinch.
Yeah. Like some gyms are grapplers, some strikers. But if you've got a larger boy who's from a grappling gym and you're a bit smaller than him or in stature, you're going to find it a hard day in the office. What's going on in WA, Adam? Let's have a chat about that, see what's happening with our juniors.
Yeah, well, we've got our first ever state junior titles happening in September. So we're taking registrations for that now, and it'll be a pathway to the Nationals in October, which is a pathway to the World Championships for the following year, which will be in Sweden.
Sweden, yes.
So it's the first time that I know of in WA where a junior's been able to progress from state to national to world champion within the same series of tournaments. So that's pretty exciting stuff. Trying to get everybody on board there. So yeah, it's pretty big news.
The juniors have taken a massive step forward nationally since Richard Walsh up there in Queensland found a great venue at Tallabudgera, which had accommodation on site and a sporting stadium where they could set up 2 rings. So we had like our own mini Olympic sort of tournament where every state rocked up with the kids, and we matched them as they got there, checked their weights, and those kids now are heading to Thailand actually next week or in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Heading to Thailand to Bangkok to fight at the National Stadium in the IFMA tournament along with Sam Valentine and your young boy actually.
Yeah, Walter Lars over there, training at Song Pinong as we speak. I'm running about 80 kilometres a day by the sounds of it.
Yeah, very nice takedown there. Yeah. Nice takedown by Nathan Eden from Frankie Diesel's gym.
He's just doing everything right in the grapple, great push kick. And again, that's a great example of what the judges are looking for. You know, a technique that moves somebody physically across the ring.
Yeah,
is a great scoring shot.
And we know in the rule book it says that a scoring strike is an effective strike, and an effective strike is something that affects the opponent, whether it being their head going back or affecting their balance or causing an injury. This is what the judges are looking for. Punches and kicks that are non-effective, that aren't troubling the fighter, are not high on the scorecard, you know.
About 15 in the afternoon, proudly brought to you by West Coast Fight Shows. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner.
Well done to Nathan Eden from Frankie's. A good display of grappling. And well done for Craig for coming back into the sport and now stepping up to take on our current WMC state champion Rick Pesanacci on Domination. Coming up on the 15th of August, I think Domination's set for.
29th.
29th, sorry.
At the Armdale Arena.
Same arena where Dan Minnie T. Williams won his world title. I know it's out there at the back of Armidale, guys, but definitely if you want to see some good Muay Thai bouts,
West Coast Fight Shows is proudly brought to you by NPB Security. NPB Security is dedicated to providing the highest quality crowd control, static guard and mobile patrol services. Go down and speak to Scott Parry for all your security needs.
So here we go with our semi-main. This is a 5-round fight, full tie rules. Got Jordan McGregor from Gav's Gym.
Round 16 of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, proudly brought to you by Bailey Fitness. 5 by 2 minute rounds, a 72 kilogram weight division, full Muay Thai rules, no pads. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is trained by Jason Lee from the Australian Muay Thai. With an official weight of 71.6 kilograms, he has a record of 5 fights for 4 wins. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jamie Creel! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He is trained by Gavin Fuller from Gav's Gym. With an official weight of 71.8 kilograms, he has a record of 3 fights for 1 win. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jordan McGregor!
So McGregor giving up a bit of experience here with Gav's Gym. One of the newer gyms on the block.
Yeah. When I was matching this fight, I just took a serious look at these two boys. They both trained in Thailand previously, and actually Jordan had trained longer in Thailand, where Jamie had just been for a short visit. But Jamie has been around for a little while, and also training out of Jason Lee, Jason Lee being one of our former Australian champions in the past. And Gav Fuller is reasonably new to WA. Opened up his gym, Gav's Gym out in Creel, the O'Connor sort of area there. So I had to do a little bit of research on these two guys before I decided to put this on as a semi-main. But as you see, the fight goes on. It was definitely a good match in the end. So to be honest with you, their fight experience being only 4 fights and 2 fights to their standard, I'll give both these boys credit for their ability, as you'll see as the fight goes on, how tough they are.
Slow start.
And actually Jordan McGregor is matched on the Yodson Clay undercard as well, coming up on the 8th of August. So that'll be his second bout with Gav's Gym.
Chapter.
So no giving him the listen to me, boys.
Round 2 kicks off. They'll leave the fair in the first.
Round 2.
Just recapping on that Jordan McGregor is fighting on Origin's Yodson Fly machine gun undercard against actually Nathan Eden.
The Richmond's last fight.
Yeah, he just defeated Craig Burville. So mate, those two boys fighting on ignition and now moving on to the Yodson Fly Tentori undercard. It's great to see. Also have on that card as well is Ben Worsfold and Alex Amoroso, James Rowland and Jordan Weir, Jeremy Firth and is it Andy Duda from Riddlers? Eddie Duda from Riddlers Gym. We've got Varkas, the big fella, against Clark. This Clark doesn't look familiar. Is he an interstater? I'm not sure.
No, he's a local boy.
Is he? Yeah. Haven't seen him fight before. And we have the Hunter, which I thought was you.
What's going on here?
Thought you were the Hunter. Obviously, the Zero to Hero boxing bout, we got the Hunter against Butterbean.
Well, I'd be more of Butterbean than this.
Yeah. And then we have another Zero to Hero, Adonis and the Rock. And then we have Sinclair and Callaghan. Is it Callaghan?
Yeah, no, cracking card. Great main event, that's for sure. Boys just come back in. Round 2 after a kick south of the border again.
You can't not mention on the Yodson Clyde undercard is Whitney Tuna, the promoter's sweetheart.
She does pretty well, Whitney. I mean, she's been over there training in Thailand for this one again. Yeah, she's a couple of trips to Thailand. She's doing well. I wish my wife got to go to Thailand for every fight.
Round 3.
Now the boys picking up the pace now. He's got some skills in the grapple. He seems a little bit natural bigger.
You mean Crane, Jamie?
Yeah, sorry, Crane seems a bit bigger than McGregor.
Again, if you're new to Muay Thai and you don't know much about the sport, same as most other combat sports, the weight cut is part of our sport. Some gyms do a serious weight cut, some don't. Some believe that fighting at your walking around weight is you'll be stronger and not cutting the weight beforehand. There's so many different opinions on that, and there's a lot of controversy around it in terms of health for fighters. But it's like anything, that it's one of those things that you really can't control. Some fighters come in being bigger than others, and that doesn't always mean that the bigger guy's going to be the winner. It's just their personal preference to how they prefer to prepare for their fight.
Looks like McGregor just might be going into his shell a little bit. The constant attacks from Crane, some jumping knees, really controlling that grapple.
Yeah, the height and size of Jamie Crane is, as it always does in the later rounds, and talking about the weight cut, that is part of the theory of it all, that the weight tires your opponent by hanging off them on the grapple, the heavier punches throughout the rounds.
That's not a bad approach from McGregor, just to get a nice and close body on body in that grapple if you can't. But it's probably the safest place to be, chest on chest. But you've got to be doing something in there. And just kind of waiting for the referee to call break. Round 4 of 5. So we start to pick up the pace now. Cut elbows. Too much activity coming from Crane at the moment. McGregor needs to lift his work rate if he's going to take this one.
I think the size, as we mentioned before, I think the size is tiring out Jordan McGregor. What is his fight set? 72. So McGregor against Nathan Eden again. I think Nathan Eden may have a bit of size on Jordan again for the upcoming fight on Origins.
As a trainer and promoter, it really pays you well to know whether in the circuits out the heights or weights.
Yeah.
The gym cuts weight, they don't.
That being matchmaker myself for Ignition, obviously Ignition's promoted by myself on trying to match fighters up as evenly as possible is one of the hardest jobs in the game.
Yeah.
You know, everyone can set up an event, hire a venue, and do all the other stuff, but the actual matching of the fighters and getting that to a point where you get even fights is actually takes a lot of experience. It's a part of the job that doesn't stop right up until the weigh-in. It's a constant guys pulling out, getting injured, getting concerned they're not going to make the weight that they've agreed on, so they're trying to negotiate a lower or a higher weight, and your phone. If I matched 17 bouts on this one. We're talking 30 odd fighters, 30 odd trainers that you're dealing with on a daily basis to negotiate fights, and it really is one of the parts of promoting that any promoter is going to tell you is the thorn in the side of promoting. But I guess that's what the sport's about, man. And what we do as promoters, and what I do as a promoter is to try and get even fights and have people on the edge of their seat, and don't give the judges an easy day in the office. The judges need to watch the fight and pay attention, and the crowd need to have their opinion at the end. And you don't want to, before the fight starts, you don't want to know whose hand's going to go up at the end. You want a fight where you honestly think that anyone can take that fight.
Turn it on a bit now.
Yeah.
Crane,
Jamie Crane from Bunbury, yeah.
Must have been up for sure. Yeah, I think that's the biggest difference between the boxing and the Muay Thai. The champion Thai boxers, guys mock the world title, they're still, probably winning only 75% of their bouts. Yeah. It's not a creative record. We look at some of the boxing, and I love boxing as boxing fan, but it's more about building the prospect to be winning, 15 to 20 fights. That's journeyman.
Yeah.
It's just it's a different level of matchmaking.
Yeah, Muay Thai. Yeah, you can't with the kicking and the elbow and the unprotected weapons that we use with the shin, the knee, the elbow. If you were to mismatch a fight, one of the boys is going to get seriously hurt.
Yeah.
And we need to take that always into consideration when we're matching fights. But both boys are evenly matched, and that's the end of that bout. What an awesome bout for the semi-main event. I think
Fight 16 of the afternoon.
Jamie may have taken this, I think, and as you can see the boys standing there, again the size difference, and who's cutting weight and who's not. But a good fight by both, and well done to Jordan McGregor for getting in there, and you can see the highlights here. These boys have only had, under 5 fights, and seriously for having under 5 fights, the technical ability of them both and the display they put on at the event was, I'm quite proud of them as a promoter for getting in there. Landed some good elbows, both fighters. So this was my, this actual fight show was on the Anzac Day weekend, so this was my contribution to the Anzac Day. Was a Kiwi against an Aussie.
Yep.
Although we did
West
fight
Coast
together.
Fight Shows on Channel 44, West TV Perth.
And here we go to the main event. Blade Uge, the Lionheart, and Rick, the bearded hero, Pesnecci.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, about 17 of the evening. It is your ignition main event. 5 by 2-minute round, 69 kilogram weight division, full Muay Thai rules. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's trained by Creel from the Nano Academy in Darwin. With an official weight of 69.1 kilograms, he has a record of 20 fights for 14 wins. He's a WBC Victorian State Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Blade! 300, Lin Tong, Rhino and Darren Kurovic from the Cowsock Muay Thai Gym. With an official weight of 68.7 kilograms, he has a record of 9 fights for 4 wins. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Pizzanashki!
And away we go. Bearded Hero against Lionheart.
He's in Thailand in 2013. I discovered and bumped into Blade in one of the gyms over there in Bangkok. I didn't even recognise he would have been 85 kilos. He's a fair bit taller than me. I fight at 75. And the guy was just a massive unit. I was just so surprised that he can, get down to 69 kilos.
I'm sure that's a struggle. I don't think he'll be doing that easily, mate, but as we were saying before, some gyms cut a lot of weights and some gyms don't, so... I've seen Blade fight at 67, mate.
Yeah.
So when you told me you've seen him at 85 in Thailand, I reckon the salt in that food was different. I think there might be a lot of sodium in the food and some beers, mate. Some singers and changies it over there.
And Rick would probably be about 59 if you had a shot.
Yeah. A lot of people would look at that name, Rick Pizzanashki, and think where he was from, but he's actually Scottish, mate.
Yeah.
The broad Scottish accent, he's got his Ned Kelly beard. But great guy. Another Cowsock guy that again hasn't got it. He's got his ego intact. With boys out of Cowsock, Dan Williams, Rick, definitely train hard. Great guys to work with in terms of promoting. Very respectful, thankful for what we do for them. In terms of fighters,
I think Darren would beat out any arrogance, to be honest. Great guys down there at Why? Very long arms,
mate.
Long reach.
When he fought Albanetti, I think Albanetti was a shorter, stockier sort of guy. Every punch that Blade threw was landing on Albanetti, we just couldn't work out the range. Nice tackling. Blades grew up in Alice Springs, mate. So I'm sure he's probably got 20 fights on his fight card here, but he's probably got 40 in Alice Springs. But Blade is definitely a tough contender. He doesn't like losing. He's definitely in there to win it. He stands toe to toe, as you can see. He's always stepping forward and he throws with all his heart, and it's the Lionheart. But Rick in his last few bouts, the footwork on Rick and the speed that he seems to be coming up with now is definitely picking up his game, Rick, for the amount of fights he's had. Blaze probably had twice as many fights as Rick at this bout. And Rick's about 9 fights here, and Blade will be up there 20. So. All credit for Rick to take the fight, but again, all credit to Blade. This wasn't a full preparation fight for Blade. He did take the fight on shorter notice. The fight that was matched here was actually Chris Watt and Rick. But Chris had to pull out in this event, which we obviously coming up in a future Ignition fight show, West Coast Fight Shows event. You'll see Chris Watt and Rick battle it out for the WA state title. But for this event, we've got Blade jumping in. More experience, less training time, but
Rick seems content to left kick and left hook.
Yeah.
Normally you see the fighters are either, in Thailand they cut them into two categories. You're either a skillful fighter or you walk forward and you're a dominating fighter.
Yeah.
Rick seems to be transitioning. You know, he was very much of a walk forward, punch on kind of style fighter, and a bit of a change of gyms, and you know, he's kind of got the best of both worlds. Blade just wants to take people's heads off.
That's it, mate. Is stand there. Wants to hit you hard, mate. That's all it is.
Which it all does the same at the end of the day.
Yep.
Funny thing is, all the skillful guys want to be the hard asses, and all the hard asses want to be skillful.
Yeah, stuff. Short hair and long hair, mate. Beard, no beard. Grass is always greener. So. We always think grass is always green on the other side of the fence, mate, but it never is. It's just greener over there because it's fertiliser shit. That was my lovely wife, Kay Houston, said that to me just the other day, and I thought that was a good analogy. The grass is only greener over there because it's fertiliser shit. So.
Give me a hallmark card. Or go writing guest up calendars. Round 4 or 5 coming up. This one heat up now. Just gonna start to wonder after I see these guys missing a few head kicks in a row, especially when it gets to round 4 or 5. It's just down towards the hips. Constantly missing. Change the tactic.
Yeah, I think guys walking forward a lot is strong stuff, but looks just too evasive, eh? Just we're talking, millimetres to a centimetre of just being out of range for Blade. I think Blade's getting a bit frustrated. You can tell by the walking, the marching forward. You can see he's trying to find a rhythm that's not there, you know. The crowd are definitely behind it. You can hear them screaming in the background. It's definitely an exciting bout.
It's a big impact now.
Yeah.
Nice wing base.
And good push cut.
Big breaths.
Respect between the fighters. Mark seems to give him a chat. Keep away from the groin, if you don't mind. Yeah. Ooh, nice.
It's the same for Rick though, and those head kicks aren't connecting. Both boys are getting out the way. And after 4 rounds, you've got to pick up on that. Ultimately, really good at bending back and good at checking.
Going to our final round. I'd like to thank all our sponsors for West Coast Fight Shows. Electric Tattoo Studio in Morley, NPB Security, Raymond Rigging, who's been with us from the beginning, Bailey's Fitness with Adam Bailey sitting here with me, Megavision Sound and Lighting, And of course, West Coast Fight Shows. And don't forget westcoastfightshows.com.au for all your online ticketing for Domination, Ignition events, and other shows that we're starting to work with.
We're starting to pick it up now. I think the sensitive behind. Yeah. Home and swinging. I think he needed this probably 2 rounds ago. Rick just seems nice and clear and content.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be rattled. He's still got his footwork going. The left kick's pumping.
Looks like a little left kick to get out of the trouble when he's back into the right. There he goes again. Right. Left kick.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, final 60 seconds. Make some noise and bring your brother home.
Good showing for Rick. But well done for Blake as well, you know, taking the fight on short notice.
Putting on such a great tone display. You know, coming out stronger in the 5th round. When he's had a shorter lead up to the fight. You know, all credit to Corey and Blade for stepping in.
Final seconds.
Spin your back forearm. And that's the end of that bout. Well done, guys.
Let's hear it for both fighters.
So we'll go to a decision now.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Bout 17 of the evening, proudly brought to you by West Coast Fight Shows. Your Ignition main event, 5 rounds of full tie action. We turn to the judges for their decision. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner.
Well done, Rick, and well done to Cal Sock. And don't forget, guys, to stay online, stay up to date with the up-and-coming West Coast Fight Shows events. The next one will be Domination. I'd like to thank Adam Bailey for joining me today for the first West Coast Fight Shows online. Like I said, stay with us, guys. We're going to bring as many WA fight shows to the online viewing. Free online, must I say, not pay-per-view. And don't forget to get your tickets online. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in to West Coast Fight Shows. And we'll see you at our next event. And bye for now.